Hello everyone, my name is Luke, aka Mr. Age, and welcome back to another one of my discussion videos. And yes, I am once again making another controversial discussion video. As a matter of fact, I think this might be just as controversial as the one I made about transgenders back in 2023. So, yeah, buckle up. I know that this video is definitely going to get some very negative feedback from some. And before some of you guys decide to go in the comments, later on in this video and grill me like a couple of wild jimmies, let me start by saying that everything that I am about to say in this video is completely opinionated. I'm not trying to force people to change their life. I'm not trying to discriminate. I'm not trying to make people feel bad about their life. I am just a guy who is about to give a valuable or unwanted opinion depending on how you feel about my opinion. And I'm also going to be trying to motivate people here. Like, I'm not going to be discriminating anyone. I don't do that shit. I don't make fun of people. I don't mock people. I'm just going to be trying to motivate people because I always try and encourage people to be the very best for themselves, because being the best for yourself is a very important thing to do these days. So that's why I try and motivate and encourage people, because I want people to do what's best for themselves. I want them to be the best for themselves, and I want them to make the best out of life for themselves as well. So yeah, that's all I'm really trying to do here. So without further ado, let's get straight into the topic of today's discussion video. Now, for those of you who don't really know the type of person I am a bit of a blunt person when it comes to the truth, and I have to be like that. And the reason for that is because these days, when it comes to hearing the truth, it seems like a lot of people only want to hear what they want to hear instead of what the actual truth is. Like, they would rather only hear what they want to hear, right? People don't want to hear the truth if they don't like it. Like, if people don't like what the truth has to say, reality even, like, if people don't like what the truth has to say, then they will go against both the truth and reality just because they don't like what they're hearing. And I understand that sometimes it's hard to hear the truth about some things. You may not like what you hear. You may not want to hear what you're about to hear. But if the truth is the truth, then trying to run away from it or trying to pretend that it's not the truth is not a very good thing to do. And that's why there's so many deluded people living in our society today. Like, that's why you've got so many delusional people these days, right? Because these days, people would rather listen to their own delusions and their own excuses instead of hearing the actual real truth, actual facts. People don't even like facts anymore. The only facts that people listen to are the facts that apply to what people want. If the facts apply to what people want, then yeah, they'll listen because, why not? Because that's what they want to hear. And that's why people will only hear what they want to hear. If the facts apply, then they'll listen to it. But if facts do not apply to what they want to hear, then they simply will not want to hear it. That's why sometimes people even get offended about hearing the truth. That's why people get offended about facts. That's why people get offended by logic, because sometimes people just don't want to hear it because they don't like hearing the truth. They don't like hearing facts. They don't like having logic, because obviously if you're a logical person, then you listen to what is the truth, because you listen to what's in reality, and that's where you live, don't you? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, there's more people living in reality besides just me, right? Don't tell me I'm alone here. But then again, maybe I am, because people these days don't like hearing the truth. That's why people run away from it. People pretend it doesn't exist. People make up their own truth that's not even true at all. That's why you've got so much delusion these days. So, yeah, when it comes to me, I am a very truthful person. I always try and tell the truth when I can. So that's why I'm a very honest person as well. So the thing about body positivity is it's not a very good thing. I'm sorry. I know that sounds like such a shitty thing to say to people, but again, it's the truth. Body positivity is not a good thing. Now, the reason why body positivity is not a good thing is because, for the most part, like 99% of the time, body positivity is essentially about feeling positive about your body, even if your body is a bit on the heavier side. Yes. This video is about fat people. Yes, we're talking about fat people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just that it's kind of funny how people actually get offended about this. Because any doctor will tell you, and keep in mind, doctors are people who definitely know what they're talking about when they talk about our health, because they're doctors. They go to school for 10 plus years to learn about this shit. So obviously, I'd say they know what they're talking about when they say shit like being fat is not good for you. Being obese or overweight in general is not good for you. And it's sad these days how people would rather listen to TikTok than actual health professionals. I mean, then again, we're also living in a world full of anti-vaxxers as well, so the same shit applies there. I mean, look, I'll be honest. When it comes to the COVID vaccine, yeah, I'm a bit skeptical on that one as well. But other vaccines like the flu vaccine or measles, like anti-vaxxers are fucking cringe. But again, these days people would rather listen. Like I was saying earlier, people these days will only listen to facts if it applies to what they want to hear. If the facts apply to what they actually want to hear, then they'll listen to them because they might as well, because that's what they want to hear. So that's why these days people will only listen to facts that apply to what they want to hear, unless it's facts that don't apply to what they want to hear. And again, like I was saying earlier, people will not hear the truth if it's not what they want to hear. People will literally turn away from the truth, the actual truth, just because it's not what they want to hear. Instead of accepting the truth, they will rather run away from it. So that's why you've got people these days who go on social media and listen to things like fucking TikTok. And we all know that TikTok is extremely stupid. Like, good God Almighty, God, if you ever want to see like the worst of humanity or the worst of society, go on TikTok. Look up some shit on TikTok, because let me tell you something. The people on that app years ago, the people you see on TikTok would have been locked away in a fucking mental institution. And it just really goes to show you how far society has fallen these days. But that's why people like me are here. That's why I'm here to try and encourage people. And I know I said I wasn't going to force people in the beginning, but if I can force someone to see the truth, I will, because the truth is good for people. If people know what is actually factual and what's actually not factual, then people these days would probably be less deluded. Because hearing what the actual truth is and hearing facts, that's what is good for people, to know the truth. Having the truth is the same as having knowledge, and knowledge is power. When you have delusion and unfactual lies, that's the problem these days. And the same applies here to body positivity, because body positivity will try and make everyone believe that being fat and being unhealthy is okay for people. And the truth is, the actual truth is, it's not. Being obese, overweight, being unhealthy is not good for anyone. Even someone who's not a doctor will tell you that. Because thankfully there are some people these days who are still just a little bit logical to know about things like this. Because like I said, even a doctor will tell you this. And yet people on TikTok will try and say, no, it's okay. You can eat what you want. You can be fat. You can risk getting a heart attack. It's all okay. Listen, my family is very overweight. All right. My whole family is. And even I have put on a couple pounds. You guys probably can't see it, but even I have put on a couple pounds. And I would eat more healthily, but the problem with me is, since my family is below income, I guess you can say, or like low income, I guess, like my family lives below like the average income of other Americans. Like my family is actually kind of, well, basically we're kind of fucking poor, kind of. So my family can't really afford to get me more expensive, healthy food. But for everyone else out there who actually is making more money than me and my family, you guys should definitely try and take better care of yourselves and eat better foods. Now, you see, that's another thing. I've noticed that a lot of the reasons why people are actually obese these days and like extremely overweight is people binge eat, right? People just stuff their faces with food, and the reason why is because it's a coping mechanism. And don't worry, I did not forget about that fact. I know that for some people out there with eating disorders, or like for as a coping mechanism, I guess, which is really fucking depressing in my honest opinion. I understand that food is a coping mechanism for some people, and for some others, they just have straight up eating disorders. And for those of you who have eating disorders, there is only one thing you should do. Just like every other disorder, get help. Seek mental health care if you can, because that is the only way to treat any disorder. So if you have an eating disorder, please try and get help, because if you already have a disorder, and if you're making yourself overweight and obese, then that's not going to make things any easier for you in the long run, because eventually you're going to have to seek some kind of mental health care for your eating disorder. And if you've already made yourself overweight, then that's going to put additional health problems on you. And that's something that I do not want for you. So for those of you who have eating disorders, get some fucking help. I understand it's hard to find therapists these days and psychiatrists, but it's possible. There's still some good people out there, not just the one that you're listening to in today's video. You know, I'm not the only good person out there. There's more good people out there who can definitely help you out. And seek help from other people as well. Seek counseling. Talk to people who can encourage you, not just me, because I'm just some guy on the internet, you know? Seek actual professional help if you have some kind of eating disorder. And the same applies to people who use food as a coping mechanism. I swear to God, like, on every episode, or almost every episode of My 600-Pound Life, every single sad origin story of all the overweight people on there, like, I had a bad childhood. I had a bad childhood. I was abused. I was raped. My mom didn't take me to Chuck E. Cheese enough for my 6th birthday. I'm sorry, but yeah, like, for the people who had like bad lives and bad childhoods and went through a lot of shit, like, I understand that food makes people feel good. Like, I totally understand that, especially if you're eating fast food, and that just makes the whole thing worse. But just because food may make you feel good, trust me when I say this, there are more than enough things in life that can make you feel good and can be used as better coping mechanisms just as good as food can. There's plenty of things in life that can make you happy. There's new hobbies you can pick up. There's plenty of new things you can find that you like to do. It's limitless, actually, okay? One of the best things about life is when you want to find something in life, you will find it if you're determined enough. And sometimes it just comes right to you. You know, that's the beauty that is life. Like, when you want things in life, when you actually want to find something in life, when you seek hard enough and when you look hard enough, you find it. And sometimes things find you in life that you didn't even know you wanted. You know, people surprise themselves all the time when it comes to finding new things that they can enjoy in life. So for those of you out there who have use food as like a coping mechanism, trust me, there is plenty of alternatives that are not only more healthy, but can be more enjoyable than just stuffing your face with food and using it to cope. You know? And talking about the whole fast food thing, this is why the obesity rate has increased so much in this country. America is a dying country. It's on its deathbed. You know, it's full of debt and taxes and, you know, a shitty economy. But one thing that America will never fail on is its fast food. Like, that's one thing that America will never screw up on. They're good at fucking up everything else, but they're also good at fucking up people with their fast food, you know? That's one thing America is also good with, you know, besides raising taxes and, you know, a shitty economy and shitty jobs. You know, America is also great at giving us fast food to, you know, make ourselves fat with. But anyways, yeah, this is why so many people these days are overweight. Mental health issues is also another reason. it's not just, unfortunately, it's not just eating disorders that can lead to people using food as a coping mechanism. Things like anxiety, depression, and sometimes even ADHD can be things that can cause people to develop coping mechanisms with food. So yeah, mental health is also a big factor when it comes to why people overeat and use food as coping mechanisms, because mental illness is a thing, and that's one of the things that it causes sometimes. So for those of you out there who have some kind of mental disorder, eating disorder, or any other mental illness, like even if you don't have, like even if you're not using food as a coping mechanism, I encourage everyone to take better care of their mental health as well. If you feel like there's something wrong, whether it's depression, anxiety, or whatever, seek help. Do whatever you can, because why deal with it? Why struggle with a mental illness when you know there's things you can do to ease that struggle? Seek help. Do what you gotta do. Find a therapist, find a psychiatrist, visit your primary care doctor, do something. So yeah, that about does it for the first segment of this video. Now, let's talk more about body positivity itself. Now, I understand that there are some people out there who don't use food as a coping mechanism, but they are still overweight. And for these people, if you have no intention to change and to take better care of yourself, all I'm gonna say is I don't agree with it, but that's fine. Like, because listen, I don't try and change people, right? Like, the way I see it, everybody has their own life and their own choices to make in their life. I got my own life, right? So although I will always try and encourage and try and teach people to make better choices in their life, because, I always try and share my wisdom with people. If people don't want to make the better choice that will benefit themselves more than anything, that's fine with me. Like, for all the overweight people out there who don't want to change and think they're okay being overweight, have at it. Have at it. I don't care. Do what you gotta do. Eat yourself to death. I do not care. You may think you're healthy right now, but in the long run, it's gonna bite you in your fat ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it is. It just is. You may think there's nothing wrong with being overweight, but in the long run, it's gonna fucking affect you. Like, why do you think I'm diabetic? Like, ask me in the comments, Mr. Rage or Luke, why are you diabetic? Did you just get diabetes, or was you eating like a pig and becoming a fat fuck? I was eating like a pig and I was a fat fuck. I got diabetes when I was only 6 years old, and I remember exactly how big I was when I was first diagnosed. I was around 280 pounds, and I was only 6 years old. Yeah, I was a fat fucking kid. I was fat. And as you could expect, I was not eating very good food. And my parents were definitely to blame for that, but I was a fat kid, all right? I was a fat kid. I had McDonald's, I was eating Little Caesars, I was eating the cookies, the cakes, the ice creams, the candies, the condoms. Not that last part. Not that last part. I don't know where that fucking came from. I was a bit horny before I made this video. I am so sorry about that. Stop it, get down. Sorry about that. Whew, I gotta quit porn. Anyways, no, I was a fat kid, right? I was a very fat kid, and I got diabetes because of the mistake that my parents made, and because I was just a little kid who was enjoying all the food that my parents were shoving in my mouth, all the unhealthy food. I got diabetes. I got fucking diabetes now. I gotta take insulin shots every day. I gotta correct my blood sugar when it's high, and it's fucking annoying. Having diabetes fucking sucks. And in the long run, people will deal with their own health problems because of being overweight. You'll have things like, you'll increase the risk of getting diabetes, heart disease, even fucking kidney failure is a possibility when you're overweight. Because the thing is when your body has all those extra pounds on it, it's hard for your body to function. And that again is just facts. A doctor will tell you this as well. when your body has extra pounds to carry, it makes your body work harder to function, which is why being overweight is a problem in the first place. So that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, it's just not good to be overweight. And like I said, you might think that you're fine now, but it's gonna catch up to you. It's gonna catch up to you. You may be okay for now, but the older you get and the weaker your body gets, you will develop more disease and you'll have better chance at develop more serious chronic conditions because of the fact that you are overweight. And this is my biggest problem with body positivity. They are encouraging people to not take better care of themselves because of their own fucking pride and ego. You see, one of the reasons why fat people will try and encourage other fat people not to change is because it makes them feel better about themselves. It's all about the ego. They're like, I'm happy being fat, but at the same time, I'm not that happy being fat, you know? But if I encourage other people to be fat like me, then I can feel better about myself, you know? Bobby, 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 Bob. I'm sorry about that, the fat guy impression, but yeah, like, don't fucking listen to body positivity, okay? It's okay to feel positive about your body, but shouldn't you also want to take better care of it as well? Like, if you're so positive about your body, then you should feel more inclined to take care of it. Take care of your goddamn bodies, because it's not like you're gonna get another one, okay? Whatever you do to the body that you currently have, it's not like they can just soul swap you and put you in another one, okay? We only are born with one meat suit, and depending on how we take care of it, that will determine what we deal with in our life. So if you don't take care of your body's gonna not take care of you. You know, that's just how it works. You know, if you treat your body like shit, then your body is going to be like shit. If you treat your body healthily, then your body will be healthy for more and more years to come. I mean, I see fucking senior citizens going for walks and they even jog. And I see some older people, like these people are in their fucking 70s. I see these people going on fucking marathons, running just as good as someone in their 20s. And that's because they take very good care of themselves. They took good care of themselves. And even in their old age, when their bodies are in decline, they're still taking care of themselves. So for all of these overweight people out there, if you don't want to change, if what I'm saying hasn't encouraged you, then I'm not going to try anymore. I'm not going to try. And look, I understand that listening to some little asshole kid on the internet try and tell you what to do, that's probably going to piss you off, but I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to encourage you. I'm trying to show people the truth when they can't or may not even want to see the truth. What I say is my wisdom for people. My wisdom for some people is like a flashlight used to see in the darkness that is the lies of the world that we live in these days. And for some people, there is no darkness that's blinding them from the truth. Sometimes people are their own darkness because they don't want to see the truth in the first place. So for those of you out there who still don't want to take better care of your own fucking bodies, that's fine. Do what you want. Eat what you want. Do what you want. I don't care. But don't you dare try and fucking encourage other people to live just as unhealthy as you do. Because that is a very fucking hateful thing to do, and it's a very selfish thing to do as well. Trying to encourage others to live unhealthy just to fuel your ego. For anyone out there who is in the process of becoming overweight, or if you are eating very unhealthy foods, make a change while you still can. Because you still have a chance to do it a bit more easier than someone who is already over 300 fucking pounds. Because once you hit that state of weight, that rhymed. Once you hit that state, it's going to be very, very hard for you to lose weight. It'll actually be a fucking nightmare. And we've got people out here who are over 500 fucking pounds. How can you people even live? Like, genuine fucking question. For those of you who actually are already overweight, how do you live? But seriously, like, I'm not discriminating you. I'm not making fun of you. I am just a little old Christian boy, and I have a question, an innocent question. How do you live? How do you do it? How do you get up every single day of your life struggling just to get out of bed, feeling like you've got a bunch of bags and bricks all weighing you down, and then you look down at yourself and you see that it's your own body, that you can't even get up. You can't even move your own body because of what's in it, because of all that fat that's weighing you down. How do you live? How do you get up in the morning? How do you go and piss in the morning? How do you take a shit after you eat more and more food? How do you do it? I'm not calling you disgusting, but it is a disgusting way to live. That's all I'm going to say. And the thing about these overweight people who don't want to change is they are going to die. And that's what's tragic about them. That's why I'm not going to be mad when they get angry at me in the comment section, because they're going to fucking die. Either they're going to die or they're going to get a lot of severe fucking health problems because of the way that they treat themselves, the way they treat their own fucking bodies, and the way they live their own life. They're going to die soon. Or they're going to get sick first, they'll get sicker and sicker, and then they'll die. So, for those of you out there who live like that, why? How do you do it? Is it worth it? Is it worth to eat such unhealthy food that made you this way in the first place? And the worst part about all of this is the fact that people can still eat relatively whatever they want, even if it's unhealthy, as long as you're doing it in moderation. Let me make an example. Now look, I like dessert sometimes. My favorite dessert of all time is actually cheesecake, and I love me a piece of cheesecake every once in a while. It's like a treat for me, and that's okay. Having a sweet treat every once in a while is completely fine. It would be depressing if you didn't have a treat every once in a while, because who wouldn't? People love that shit, you know? Sugar is good for you too. I mean, although sugar is bad for you for the most part, but sugar can be good for you as well. You know, sweet treats make people happy. You know, people like it, and that's fine. You know, all of that's fine. As long as you're doing it in moderation, having a slice of cheesecake every couple of weeks or every couple of months is fine. But having it every single day or every other week or every couple of days, like, no, that's not okay. And that's why so many people these days are overweight. It's not even because of the fact that they may not be getting enough exercise. It's because they're eating too much unhealthy food. It's not even the unhealthy food that's the problem. Everyone eats unhealthy food, and you can still have a healthy body even if you eat unhealthy food every once in a while. That's fine. The reason why so many people are overweight is because they consume so much unhealthy food at such an unhealthy rate. That's why so many people are overweight and obese and dying from the same disease that I have every day. I'm lucky I take care of my diabetes, because if I didn't, I would be in a much worse spot than other people would be who probably do have diabetes and are doing even worse than I am. I'm actually not doing that bad in general. Like, listen, like, yes, I eat unhealthy food every once in a while. Like, listen, like I said, I like having a little bit of cheesecake every once in a while. Sometimes I eat a candy bar. Sometimes I like a slice of pizza every now and then. I do not eat healthy 100% of the time, but nobody does. It's easy to keep your weight in check. You can eat a fair balance of healthy and unhealthy foods, and if you have a balanced diet, then you will have a balanced weight as well. And it's even better to eat healthy most of the time anyways. I mean, if you're someone like me who's trying to like become an athlete or something like that, or you want to be more athletic, then it's even better to just eat healthy most of the time. And even for athletic people, Even for people who have muscle and are athletes and do a lot of acrobatic exercise, even for them, it's okay to have a little bit of unhealthy food every now and then. A hamburger from McDonald's or a pizza is not going to hurt anyone as long as you're doing it in moderation. So yeah, body positivity is a fucking joke, okay? And if I'm fat phobic for everything that I just said in this video, I don't give two fucks. And for anyone who says I'm fat phobic, fuck y'all. I don't care. I literally don't care, because everything I say is the truth. I know it for a fact because I speak facts every single time I get in front of this fucking camera for everyone who watches. Being overweight is not good. And if you are overweight, please, for your own fucking sake, do not listen to any of the shit you hear on TikTok. Imagine being a slightly fat person and then an even fatter person comes and tells you to be even more fatter like them just to boost their own fucking ego, or just because they think it's right. It's not. It's not right. Being positive about such a negative lifestyle is obviously not fucking good, and I don't care what no one says. I don't care how offended people get. I don't care how mad people get. It makes me mad when I hear people talking so fucking stupid and wasting my time. If you're going to talk stupid, please keep it to yourself. Either that or go talk to another stupid person who can hear the stupid shit that you got to say, because I don't want to hear it. And neither should anyone else. Ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself. Don't listen to this body positivity bullshit. Be positive in the fact that you could be smarter than they are, and you can take better care of yourself than they are. Because like I said, these overweight people, the ones who go from 300 to 500 pounds in a year, they're gonna die. They are going to die, either one way or another, from one disease or the next disease that they may get from being overweight. Take care of yourself. Eat better, sleep better, exercise, and have a balanced diet. Ladies and gentlemen, eat whatever the fuck you want. Just don't overdo it, okay? Don't be eating cookies and candies and cakes every single day. If you want to treat yourself every now and then and have yourself a sweet treat, be my guest. I actually encourage everyone to do that every now and then. But please do it in moderation. And if you feel like you're already eating unhealthy, cut back. Eat better. Eat healthier. Go outside. Exercise. Exercise is good for not only the body, but for the mind as well. Exercise is good for not just one part of your body, but your whole body, even your mind. Someone can be having a bad day, and going outside for a walk, if it's nice outside when the sun is out and that gentle, cool breeze hits your skin, oh my God, there's no better experience like it. Take better care of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I know I definitely will. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For those of you who are still watching what I had to say, I hope you guys enjoy, for those who are still there. Thank you for hearing me ramble on about all this crap. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let me know down in the comments, what do you think about body positivity? Is it good to be positive about an unhealthy lifestyle, or should you actually take better care of yourself? Obviously, hopefully, if you guys are smart, then you already know the answer. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks again, guys. This was Mr. Rage, and I will see you guys in the next discussion video. Take care, y'all. Peace.